The earliest documented puzzle was attributed to Archimedes' stomachion, derived of 14 shapes that, when pieced together, created a square in multiple possible variations. We can't be sure if Archimedes designed the puzzle, but we do know he did extensive mathematical analysis on it. Regardless of the age of their origination, puzzles such as stomachion and its thousands of descendants allow us to quiet the noise in our minds and focus on something both beautiful and entertaining, often reaping hidden but meaningful rewards in the development of our mental capabilities.
A puzzle is something that needs to be entertaining. It has some other benefits too, which we might get to, but it needs to be entertaining. There needs to be a well-defined solution, and that solution is not obvious. Here we specialize in what might be referred to primarily as mechanical puzzles. Not that they're made of metal, they're made of wood, but they are two- and three-dimensional in nature, and that category is called mechanical puzzles. There's also things like crossword puzzles, logic puzzles like Sudoku, which are not considered mechanical puzzles. Mechanical puzzles are dominated, I think, primarily by assembly, what are called assembly puzzles, where you're trying to put something together. In addition to assembly puzzles, there's disassembly puzzles, and that category is dominated by puzzle boxes. We make a bunch of different puzzle boxes. Most of them are our own design. This one's one of the most popular. It's called the stash box. It's a box. There's no apparent levers or dials or anything on this one, and the object is to open it. There's a level of accuracy and consistency needed in designing a puzzle. Many of the puzzles, the tolerances required are very, very fine. For example, in the Martin's Menace I referred to later, if your square or your pieces are off by more than 5,000ths of an inch, you're either going to get something that won't fit in, or you're going to get something that is called unintended solutions.
Wooden brain teaser puzzles are now on a steady rise. With designs that foster concentration and flexible thinking, puzzles can build and reinforce connections between brain cells, improve mental dexterity, and even ease anxiety by blocking the chatter of our everyday mental activity. Used as a source of stimulus and joy, these puzzles and games, too, can serve as a favorable alternative to electronics.
Your mind may be cluttered with all the daily activities of life, but as you focus in on a puzzle, particularly one that interests you, your mind starts to drop away, all this little riffraff, it's noise, and focus in on that. Scientists have shown that using the brain differently, thinking differently, and puzzles is a great example, but not the only one, actually develops new neural synapses, new pathways, and it can delay the onset of your mental deterioration. So there's actually a physical benefit. And even if you're not old, building those new neural pathways is a good thing.
Various puzzles will use various portions of the mind to different degrees, sometimes stressing logic, sometimes stressing spatial skills, sometimes patterns, sometimes even verbal. As individuals, we all have strengths and traits that will draw us to certain families of puzzles, but we should also recognize our weak areas and perhaps use appropriate puzzles to develop them. Creative Crafthouse is a family business captivated by the craft of wooden puzzles and games, taking great lengths to ensure that each puzzle will be an interesting challenge that can be enjoyed and also shared with others over years and decades of time.
The equipment we have a broad variety of woodworking equipment, the lasers, the CNCs, the traditional shops. It's only good equipment because we have the people who know how to use it. So you have to give credit to the craftsmen out there, and the craftsmen are not only the people building the puzzle, it's also the shippers that make sure you get the right product and make sure it arrives to you safely. So everyone's got a vital role in creating, building, packing, and shipping a product. It's going to be a benefit to the customer.
At Creative Crafthouse, designers go beyond classic brain teaser puzzles and foray into making other wood products that offer mental challenges and learning opportunities, delivering a catalog of interesting, fun, and sometimes magical puzzles suited for any age.
The goal and future of Creative Crafthouse is to continue to entertain and to help and to stimulate people's minds in any way we can, really. The future for us is endless right now, and we're just trying to ride the wave and see where it takes us.
I kind of feel like I'm a steward of this art. And there are just so many benefits to individuals that we've talked something about. There's also benefits to relationships between individuals. As your mind develops and calms, your relationships are going to improve. And ultimately, there's a benefits for society. The more people can think clearly, the better society is going to be. So I kind of take that with a sense of responsibility and seriousness as I'm having fun building these things.
Handcrafted for a unique experience.